Hello and welcome to Warp Factor Unknown, a Star Trek rewatch podcast where we take an episode of Star Trek at random from all the Star Trek shows for a rewatch and a chat. My name's Dan and I'm joined today by my co-host, Tom.
Hello, nice to be here.
Fantastic. Today we are watching Lower Decks, Season 1, Episode 4, Moist Vessle. Now Tom, this is your first Lower Deckage?
I think it is. I seem to remember the fact that the captain was... I'm not very good with names because I'm not watching the episodes.
Freeman.
Freeman's mother. So I must
sorry. Freeman's the captain. Beckett Mariner is the ensign, her daughter.
Ah, yes, yeah. So I seem to remember that from some point in the distant past. But no, I was going to say this, episode was probably one of the funniest Treks I've seen in a while. I don't think I've laughed out loud at a Trek since... What's that?
You really like the very short Trek. I remember when Lower Decks first came out, we said to you, Tom, you got to watch it, you'll love it. It is, as a show, I think I won't say perfect, but it is really good because it is light-hearted and it is fun, but it understands Star Trek at its core. It's very obviously written by fans, people who love Star Trek. They understand Star Trek, and they can poke fun at it and call things out, but in almost kind of like a respectful way. It's not, I don't know, but yeah, I think it does its comedy very well.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It brings me to mind an episode of Next Generation, which was called Lower Decks, I believe.
Yes,
where you actually have the whole, crew of ensigns that you just don't see. You might see in passing on the hallway was the senior staff walking past, but and I really liked that episode. But this reminded me of that, but a more funny version.
Yeah, because really when Lower Decks first announced, I don't even know if I knew it was going to be a cartoon or an animated thing. I think like everyone else, like that was my first. Oh, it's going to be that because the episode was great, but a more just a serious show. And I think that would work really well. An entire show just sort of based on that sort of more serious Lower Decks thing. But no, the comedy thing totally works. Yeah, 100% on board. You said you enjoyed this episode. It was quite fun. And I hope you go away and watch all Lower Decks.
Oh, absolutely!
I promise you, all 4 series, they're all amazing.
Yeah.
Out of all the Star Trek shows, I think even including the old ones, it's for me right now. It's the one that I can just watch over and over again. I watched episode 3 times now, and it's still fun. Yeah, I had a blast just now.
It's just really easy to watch. Yeah, and it just seems to know what it is.
Yeah,
know itself.
When you do go and watch all the other series, in the intro scene, when the music's playing, the credits and stuff, the opening credits, you pointed out that the Borg are them. There's the Borg and the Romulans fighting, and the Cerritos, the ship, comes and then flies away. Every series, that changes, and that battle scene changes, and they add a new enemy, and it gets more and more elaborate. So now we're on to season 4, and in this battle scene, you've got the Borg, the Romulans, there's the crystalline entities there.
Yeah.
I think it's the whale probe from Star Trek 4. I think it's the whale probe.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, season 5. What they're going to add next? Who's going to show up in this ever evolving battle scenes? That's a nice little thing they keep doing there.
The Packlets.
There are Packlets are there.
They probably...
It's like a small spoiler. The Packlets become quite a thing in Lower Decks.
No way.
They're honestly, they're amazing.
I was just putting it out there as a memorable...
No, they are memorable. And they obviously have got such an impact in the Star Trek world that they become an actual thing in this show. They're really
those
great.
Ones with the... can't remember. Wesley has a dealing with him, and he's got this little thing he breathes through.
The benzite.
Benzite.
I love the benzite.
Yeah, I know they're not an enemy, but it's...
I really like that design of that little breathy thing. It's alien enough, but not that alien. It's kind of... Yeah, I like it. A really good-looking alien. That makes sense.
Yeah. Or the Collector. I like the Collector to come back.
I like the Collector too. I love the Collector.
Yeah.
What a great episode.
Oh, yeah.
What an absolute maniac of a man.
Yeah.
I would like to start us off, if you were. I know we've just been saying how sort of fun and light-hearted this show is. But I want to start off by putting Starfleet on blast. I want to rant because as light-hearted as these shows are, it does sort of, I think it gives a chance to sort of chat about some things which are under the surface a little bit sort of on that not so funny side for Starfleet. So the Prime Directive, my basic understanding is that one of its core fundamental things is that Starfleet doesn't interfere with non-warp capable species.
Yes.
and this stasis ship they were towing and investigating, I'm assuming was not warp capable. Because if you're an alien species and you're travelling from planet to another planet, if you go at warp, you haven't got to go into stasis because you can go there really fast. So the only reason to go into stasis is because you haven't got the technology to go to warp.
Yes.
So they're spacefaring, but they're not warp capable. So isn't Starfleet interfering with this ship and this species' natural course of development? Because they're still alive, aren't they? Within these stasis chambers.
Yeah.
From what I understand, from what I gathered of the episode, they're just there in stasis. The ship had broken down, but that's part of their development. That's what that was, quote, supposed to happen, if that makes sense.
So yeah, they've interrupted that or natural flow of things. Do the people in stasis, do they wake up?
Not in the episode.
Right.
And so this is why I'm a little bit hazy, because they keep calling them mummies. So I'm like, are they alive or have they died? It wasn't very clear. And like, if they are alive, then at the end of the episode, they've towed the ship and it's at a space station. And like Starfleet are going to what? Just tear this ship down? Because Starfleet are interested in that biogel, that evolution gel, whatever. I think it can sort of turn rocks into plants and stuff. But yeah, like, what right has Starfleet got to steal this ship, even if that alien species is now long dead? Who gives them the right to take this ship and their technology? Wouldn't the Prime Directive have something to say about that?
True.
Like, they're just stealing, but they've basically just become space pirates at this point.
So when is this based timeline?
24th century. So I'm pretty sure, like, I do know this. I don't know when it's mentioned, but at some point Mariner mentions that she was on DS9 during the Dominion War.
Oh, okay.
So it's sort of, we're in like our prime era, like our favourite kind of the 24th century post Dominion War. I think that's where we're at. Yeah, because like throughout the show they'll constantly call back references to all the other shows, DS9 and Voyager and the original series and stuff. So all that stuff's happened. Like, at one point in the show, what's he called? The cyborg guy.
I know who you mean, but
I do know. I mean, I should know his name. He's one of the main characters. When it comes to it, I'll come back to it. But yeah, he mentions the Traveller, and Q. So like, they're known entities. That's all happened. So yeah.
So they should know about
the
Prime Directive, I guess.
Yeah, they definitely should know about the Prime Directive. Yeah. This is not like Enterprise where there's not a thing yet. No. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to have a bit of a go at Starfleet for not even discussing the Prime Directive here or the ethics. I know it's probably not the kind of show that would have that conversation, but even like some sort of throwaway or...
Well, if there's going to be any continuity at all between series, you'd expect there to at least be some mention of the Prime Directive.
Yeah, I guess.
They're going to ignore it
or just like the ethics of stripping down, because that's what I assume they're going to do. They're going to strip this ship down. They're going to tear it apart for all this technology and its things.
If they do think they're mummies and cannot be revived, then they would have no issue there because they are not affecting any...
True, but then that kind of like raises the argument of, should we just dismantle one of the Great Pyramids just to see how it's constructed, like brick by brick? Again, because they don't say they're going to do it in a respectful manner or anything like that.
No.
So yeah, I just kind of want to put Starfleet on blast a little bit for just sort of gallivanting around the universe, doing whatever the hell they want.
That's fair enough. I would also say that what the rules are in the Prime Directive about affecting a race that is alive and existing, obviously Prime Directive would say don't do this, but I don't know what it says about dismantling a pyramid, as you say. Yeah,
again, if it's not Prime Directive, then surely it sort of comes into the realm of archaeology.
Yeah,
And there are sort of a few ethics and morals around that as well.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So I watched the episode a few times. I've been
slowly building up your rage.
I've been turning it over my head for a few days. I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah. I only have initial outrage because I only watched it once. But
well, now you, over the next few days, you can build on this.
Yes.
Early in the episode, when Mariner's getting told off by Captain Freeman in her ready room, in the background of the ready room, like all captains have like souvenirs and paraphernalia and stuff. Because I watched it a few times. On my second watch, I was looking at the things in the background. And because she's got like a model ship there and stuff, all the usual trappings. She's also got a flag from California. I'm like, that's interesting. I don't know why she'd have that particular flag. It's also kind of like all beaten up and sort of frayed and stuff, so that's kind of interesting. But she also has on the shelf, here's a baseball. And I'm like, maybe her and Cisco have got a thing. Maybe Maybe Freeman and Cisco, like, go play a bit of baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure knowing this show, it's definitely a callback to a DS9.
It might be like a very subtle thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of like the idea of like a captain's league of baseball or something.
Yeah.
Just something I love. The sarcastic Vulcan salutes, when they're like, she's walking out the door, she's like, yeah, I like that. And then Boimler does it later on, and she's like, it's not cool.
Yeah,
it is cool.
It is actually cool, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's such a funny joke.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's funny.
It just is.
Yeah. And like, I wonder if they would do that to a Vulcan.
Mm.
Like, if there's a Vulcan there, like some dignitaries, and we're like, yeah, peace out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the fact she's trying so hard to get demoted in this episode makes me think she probably would. But,
definitely.
But what I like about this episode is that one joke you just finished thinking that's quite funny, and then another one happens, so then you laugh about that, and it's like this ongoing. I don't know.
Yeah, the show's very pumpy. It's very quick. It's very.
Whereas if in like TNG, for example, they said, should we, just for a bit of a joke, like insert the Vulcan salute? And the turbolift doors close, and they're going doing the
really
Vulcan
cool
gesture.
Yeah.
You might laugh and think that's a bit weird, but then it'll just be like a weird point of the episode, or...
Yeah, well, because like TNG or like the other show, they do occasionally go with humour.
Yeah.
But it's you're right, it's always like one scene or a little bit. It's not. They don't do comedy episodes
like that Q episode in season 3. I forget what.
Where he gets on the band playing on the bridge.
Yeah.
He gives like Picard a cigar.
Is that the one?
Oh, I don't know.
No, that's in the first series. This is the one. It's in the same series as Yesterday's Enterprise.
Is it the one where Let's Data Laugh?
Yes,
that one. Yeah.
That one. Yeah.
Isn't that the same episode I'm talking about? The one where he loses his powers. And he becomes
That's
human.
the one, yeah.
I'm
thinking of the one in season 1.
Where he gives Riker lasers and stuff.
Not season 1, season 2, sorry. Yeah. But basically there is an episode in season 3 which is just made me laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because at the end he's like, I feel like celebrating John Luke. Like, I don't.
Yeah. I can't exercise my powers any more than Worf can win a beauty contest. So there's like things like that all the way through.
We were saying last week about how like Michael Dorn has a really good like one-line delivery.
Yeah.
And that one there, he's how can I prove it to you? And he's like, die. Yeah, like it's one line and Worf just kills it. That's fantastic. Yeah. So Star Trek does do comedy, but Lower Decks is all comedy all the time. So if you want a serious episode of Star Trek, Lower Decks isn't really your go-to.
No.
It has got some like serious bit, like some emotional bits in there and stuff, but for the majority, it's funny. When Freeman and the First Officer Ramson are talking about what to do with Mariner, trying to get off the ship, and Ransom's like, we could give her all the worst jobs on the ship, and then maybe she'll choose to leave. And then the captain's like, I know what we could do. Yeah. And she just nicks his idea.
This is why you're the captain.
Yeah. And you remember the podcast we did with Madeline, the TNG one?
Yeah.
And I brought up how Chief Assistant Engineer Mr. Singh, Wesley solved that little problem, and then he sent Wesley away, and then he's going to nick his idea.
Yeah.
Like, same thing.
Yeah.
So it must be a cultural problem in Star Trek that people just steal. Like the senior officer always gets credit for the good idea.
I think that's life. I think that's probably what happens in workplaces and everything. I mean, it would annoy the hell out of me if it happened to me, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I like how Ransom, he just in the background, he's like, yep, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Good idea, Captain. Okay. I've got another serious point I want to sort of talk about.
Yeah.
Vaguely in order it appears in the episode.
It's good because for such a light-hearted comedic episode, there's a lot of serious points to discuss.
Yeah, I found a few. This one only sort of came out because of what we spoke about in the last episode on DS9. In the DS9 episode, remember I brought up how Garrick was moaning about the crap replicators and how his tea was awful.
Yes.
And I said, well, why does the shuttle replicator only make crap tea?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay, quite a few points in this episode of Lower Decks.
Yeah.
There's talk about the replicators and how the senior staff get better replicators. Why? We're in the 24th century. We're a post-scarcity society. Why can't Boiler have his mac and cheese with the breadcrumbs on top? Is replicator food, is the quality of replicator food, is that a form of currency in Starfleet or in the 24th century? Is that one of the main reasons why people seek promotion to get... I know they get like a better quarters. That's fine. That makes sense. But they get better access to replicator rations. Does that mean they get better holodeck programs? Like, what other perks do you get by getting promoted?
That's a good point. And I used to think up until quite recently, like, what is the incentive within the Federation to promote yourself, apart from, you're doing it out of the good of your heart?
Yeah, well, Picard would say, we do it to better ourselves and stuff.
Which is
now
a typical Picard statement.
And I'm like, actually, no, there's tangible benefits to getting promotions.
Yeah, and if you get... I mean, obviously the food, a replicator would make the same food because it is a replicator.
Yeah.
I would imagine it would do it. Unless it's limited by the Federation and say, look, why don't we give the ensigns, like, the lower quality food without the breadcrumbs, for example?
Yeah.
And then as you climb up the ranks, you might get a breadcrumb, you might get, like, little extras.
Yeah, so, like, you start off in your non-commissioned roles, and you basically got, like, a cup of soup.
Yeah.
And then as you go up the ranks, you get, like a tin soup.
Yeah.
Or, like a homemade soup, like a ciabatta roll and stuff. So,
Yeah.
The soup gets better. And Mariner, she says at the end that she still has the replicator card for the senior staff.
Mm.
So what I'm implying from that is that she just puts the card into the replicator and it sort of unlocks the cool food.
Mm.
But if Boimler was to go there without the card, he would just get the crap food. The replicator, it's got all the hardware there to make the cool food. It's got all the software there to make the cool food. It's just this access card. It's behind a little...
It has limitations based on rank.
Yeah.
Which is, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
It's a really potentially sinister thing going in there in Starfleet. I don't why. I don't understand.
And as you say, holodeck programs, that could be something that, maybe you get more advanced ones, you get the Plus program, or...
But then, like I said, you can apply it to other things. Like, the ensigns are sleeping in these communal quarters. They've got bunk beds.
Mm.
And when Mariner gets promoted, she gets her own room. That's a nice perk of being an officer.
Mm.
But then, does it extend to things like holodeck? Like, can Boimler go visit Moriarty, or is he just stuck to, like, remember in that one of the very first episodes of TNG? Might have been the first one, when they go on the holodeck and Riker's looking for Data, and he finds him in a tree, and Data's trying to whistle.
Yes.
And it's just like a forest. It's like a little jungle. It's crap. There's nothing going on. There's no characters.
Yeah.
There's no life. It's just a jungle.
Wesley is there, isn't he?
Is Wesley there? He might be there.
I think Wesley's
there.
So instantly, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's why you can't have the cool program, because Wesley who started it. Yeah. So is that the thing? Like, it's only Picard can have access to the full Dixon Hill library.
Yeah.
It has the ability to remove characters and change parameters, sort of thing. Sort of like a paywall almost behind like a video game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Which you access at different levels.
Yeah,
but I guess if you're not getting money and you're not of the opinion of Picard that you're doing it to better society or
because Mariner's not, she's
then there must be some perks that you must aim for.
Okay, but then does that mean that these same level of perks and these same sort of barriers in society extend outside of Starfleet? So if you're just living on Earth as a Federation citizen and you don't need money, you don't have to work, sounds fantastic because you're like, I'd love to live on Earth. There's replicators, there's holodecks, haven't got to work, it's great. But if your replicator will only make you rice and beans with no flavourings and you only get half an hour holodeck every 2 weeks and you've got a limited section of programs, unless you do X, Y, Z, go to good education or get a job or something. The Federation and this post-scarcity society doesn't sound as appealing to me.
But it might be that it doesn't matter what you do. So maybe we're thinking like today, yes, you've got to be a captain of a starship in space, but it could be like you are the best janitor. And you get the same perks as a captain.
Yeah, but it's still forcing people to do things that they may not necessarily want to do. Like, maybe someone just wants to lay around at home all day, but you get penalised for that.
Yeah, but maybe there's something you could do, I don't know, by, let's say, for example, something you could do from your bedroom, which would, again, be the same level as being a captain. Streaming, OnlyFans, things like that. There's,
porn for our fans.
Good point there.
Yeah, it really sort of opens up this potential, like, maybe the Star Trek world isn't as nice as it thinks. Because then, like, if the civilian life is free and open and you can do whatever you like and you get access to all these cool replicators and stuff, then why would you join Starfleet? If you don't want to explore and stuff, you just want to, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because then, like, you're intentionally penalising yourself by having a less fulfilling life. I don't know.
By being in Starfleet?
Yeah, because if you join Starfleet, suddenly you've gone from having access to all replicators on Earth to having crap replicators on the ship. I'm really glad that we got the episode that was talking about replicator regressions.
Yeah.
Again, it's a joke they make for the episode. It's a good joke they're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sort of like you can deep dive into it, probably way more than the writers imagined. I bet they hate podcasts like this. Like, what the hell are they on about? How did they even consider this?
Yeah. So talking about the replicators, when she has to get colourful sand
Oh, yeah.
Because she
room temperature
messes up. She's like sand, room temperature. So no matter what you say about the replicators, like not giving certain things for certain ranks, that's a very specific thing to ask for.
That's actually a very good point.
Yeah.
She didn't have to have like an access card for that, so anybody can get warm sand.
Yeah, I just thought that was quite good.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. A similar kind of thing. I don't think we have to talk about this too much because the joke is there. It's a good joke. And I expect other people have spoken about this to death. One of the tasks Mariner gets given is holodeck waste removal. And, the implications is it's just, bodily fluids and stuff. Like,
so removing the, I think he says removing the collector or something.
Yeah, we're good. Removing the beep from the beep.
Yeah.
The implication I got there is that, people using it for basically a sex room, really.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's what the holodeck will be used for. I think a lot, it will just be fantastic porn.
Yes. That's why they call it a moist vessel, I guess.
That's actually probably a good point. Yeah, it's not so much to do with the bio goo. Yeah, again, I'm pretty sure that people have discussed online about why the holodeck needs waste filters and stuff and all the rest of it. But so I don't need to take a deep dive onto that.
I mean, Barclay would have generated. God, I don't even think.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No.
His own separate, vent collector. His own separate, whatever it is.
But they were big canisters. Like that was a lot of fluid being removed. Yeah, and it had steam and stuff. And I don't think so.
And then there was lubing.
Oh yeah, lubing the turbo lifts. That was pretty good. Someone's got to do it. I love whenever you see the behind the scenes of the turbo lifts. I know you've probably not watched it, but one of the Star Trek shorts set on, I think it's a Strange New Worlds one, I think. And there's an episode where the first officer and Spock get stuck in the elevator. And the episode's really good. But you get lots of shots of the turbo lift moving around, and you have this huge open space, empty, apart from these turbo lifts. It's whizzing about. And I love it, because the turbo lifts make no sense. Of how they work, but I always enjoy seeing behind the scenes, and I do like the idea of somebody having to go and grease those lifts.
And the fact they wouldn't be self-lubing.
Exactly, it's 21st century. Just teleport a bit of lube in there.
We'll have little lube bots or something.
The exocoms. Remember the exocoms?
No.
Yeah, I'm going to show you if I do. They come up in. They do come up in lower decks.
Are they lube bots?
They were in TNG. They were little robots that did little tasks.
Probably a whole field you could study, like lubronics, lubology, PhD in lubing.
The exocoms. Remember that episode of Star Trek?
I do remember.
And they become sentient.
They're really cute. They look like little wind-up toys.
They come back in lower decks. It's a good reference. So have a little exocom go and lube the turbo lifts.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd be happy with that work. But working.
Yeah.
They don't sacrificing themselves.
No. Then the third thing was the... when they're having a race to finish.
Oh, scraping carbon from carbon.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really good.
Again, surely they could just, put it through a transporter? Transport that big metal thing out, and then transport it back in, but set the transport filter to remove all the carbon.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost like Starfleet is trying to create busy work for the ensigns of the lower ranks to keep them busy, otherwise they've got no work to do.
But that might have been something that they invented for her to do to get rid of her. But everyone else was doing it, weren't they?
People there doing it.
It's a whole workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Starfleet is actually quite sinister, and they're just creating work to keep because I assume they need all these lower deck people to, in an emergency or when specific jobs need doing, but for 18 hours of a day there's nothing to do, so they can't just have them in the holodeck all filling up the filters. Okay. Again, I've really gone down this theme of Starfleet is evil, and actually really quite insidious in this episode. I don't know why this episode's brought out of me.
Yeah, thanks, Lower Decks.
Thank you. When Mariner gets promoted, and she then has to attend lots of mandatory activities, does Starfleet mandate your free time? Because a lot of those were recreational. Poker, going to see a scat recital, Ransom's birthday party. That's not work stuff. That's just recreational stuff.
Yes.
But as a senior officer, she has to attend. It's mandatory. And there was a mandatory poker night. And
yeah.
What is Starfleet doing? What would happen to her if she didn't attend?
And she didn't. Yeah, I mean, the fact that she didn't want to have that promotion anyway, if she had not attended, would they have taken her bib away? Or
we'll just throw in the brig. Like,
yeah,
get her back on the waste filters. I don't know. The joke's fantastic. The joke is amazing, and I love the joke. It's just like poking fun at TNG for all the stupid crap that the senior officer's done, like, you know, going to Data's poetry recital, and like nobody wants to listen to Data read poetry, and you know, all the poker stuff, all these stupid things that the crew get up to on TNG. I love how they're poking fun at it, but he just sort of like highlights a little bit, like, why is Mariner being forced to do this? She doesn't want to. She wants to go hang out with her lower deck friends. Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah. But during all of that, in the, I assume it's 10 forward or whatever the bar is, and it's the Captain Freeman doing a little scat thing. In the background, the security officer, Shax, that really big guy, the Bajoran, he's loving. He's got the biggest grin on his face. He's bopping away. He's loving it. He's having a fantastic time. Yeah, I like that guy.
I guess when you get to that level of rank in Starfleet, you must like that sort of stuff, the sort of meetings and, I don't know, little social events you get invited to.
I guess, yeah.
Whereas most people would, well, myself included, would rather stay below all that, or above all that, but below all that.
Yeah, it was more just the fact that it was mandatory. Obviously, that was a joke. That is a joke, obviously, but it kind of isn't a joke.
Though?
Yeah, is it? Yeah.
Starfleet are withholding food.
Yeah,
from some ranks now.
You lose your holiday privileges.
They are mandating your life.
Yeah.
There should be some sort of action taken.
Yeah, there should be. Yeah, maybe the minimum right. I'm sticking with that. I'm sticking with this the Starfleet Insidious thing. I think I've got one more. Yeah, I've got one more about Starfleet being a bit weird. The other ship captain, Durango. I can't remember what his species. We've seen that species before, but I can't remember what alien he is. But Durango. He is so bored, and he is so deprived of ambition that the only honour and excitement he can have in his life is moving his ship closer to that other ship that are towing, because it's, you know, we're in charge. He's bored. Is that the most exciting thing that he can do in his life and his command? Is he so deprived of all ambition that if he looked bored, he was absolutely out of his mind? So maybe being in Starfleet and being a Starfleet captain isn't actually that fulfilling. Maybe his job is just going from space station to planet and not doing cool surveys and fighting the Borg and, you know, standing down with the Romulans. Maybe his life is so incredibly boring that is the most exciting thing he's done in years.
I would say so. When you get to that point, and you know what can you do?
Yeah, like maybe you see like the posters for Starfleet, like join Starfleet now, a life of adventure and all this kind of stuff, and then it's just you just sat behind a console, just beep, boop. You crap out replicator rations. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, he was bored, and I feel like he had no ambition or drive.
See, I would imagine certain jobs in Starfleet are extremely boring. I would imagine transport chief.
Before you
what if you're not transporting anyone?
Have you seen the comic Chief O'Brien at Work?
No.
Oh, I'll show it to you online. It's really fun. Anyway, I'm sure a lot of people listening will know the Chief O'Brien at Work webcomic. It's basically just that, but that is the joke. It's him at work with nothing to do. And it's like a 4-panel comic. You'll love it. I'll show it to you. It's really good. And please go check it out, people. That's a really funny comic. It's been going for years.
Well, I guess, you know, what can you do? You know, taking that job as an example, probably some lubing. There might be some sort of carbon removal.
So I'm going to have to look his name. I can't remember his name.
See, I think, you know, that episode when Chief O'Brien, I think it's in DS9, and he spends 20 years in prison, but to everyone else it passes in seconds because he's wearing like a little implant.
Yes.
I sometimes think, I wonder if that's not actually what's happening to him, but how he's imagining his work life when nothing's happening.
Exactly.
Like he's just in this room waiting for transportation. And is he transporting like just objects between ships or between rooms?
Hey,
Chief O'Brien, could you transport this this waste material from, you know, dock A to dock C, please? He's like, they don't include it in the episode because
it's so boring. Stuff. It's so boring. Rutherford, his name is Rutherford. The black cyborg character.
Yeah.
He gets when they're doing the job assignments, he gets really he's initially very disappointed about which frequency he's got to monitor. But then when he's doing, he's like, oh my god, it's amazing. Look at those variances. I'm like, he's loving it. He's having a great time watching this line go up and down. Like, that's so boring. That is so boring. But he's obviously loving it. Maybe Chief O'Brien just loves going energize.
Yeah.
Maybe the 24th century sucks. Maybe Star Trek sucks.
Maybe.
I don't know. Because normally, someone asks you, what sci-fi or fantasy world we live in? The answer's always Star Trek because they got holodecks and replicators and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm sort of turning off it now a little bit.
If you're doing everything,
I'm talking
doing everything for you, then you're like, oh, what do I do when there's nothing to do?
I'm definitely talking myself out of this.
I was all for 24th century life.
But that's just really boring.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they have.
I'm sure it's amazing.
AI and I was looking into the VR headsets recently.
Oh yeah.
Quest 3 has come out, and I really want one, but it's too expensive. But it has augmented reality, so you can still see what's happening in your room, for example. But you might see things jumping off your desk, or
cool.
on your climbing out your computer or something. So I would imagine that they all have implants like that would enable them to make something of
more exciting.
Yeah. So whether it's like playing Snake.
So while Rutherford is watching those little lions do things, he's playing Tetris.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So things that make it more entertaining.
Ascension.
Oh, I was hoping you'd talk about this. This, for me, this is the absolute highlight of the episode because it's just so funny, and the fact that she makes such a
big deal of it,
and messes it up so badly for this poor guy.
Yeah.
Who has been actually secretly trying to ascend. He's
pretending to ascend.
Pretending to ascend.
Yeah.
To impress people.
And
she's just making it worse with every step she takes.
But then, when he finally ascends, it's really painful.
Yeah, I know. Yes. It's
that's so funny. I don't know why that's funny, but that's really funny.
Well, I think it's because they just, started to like each other, and they'd gone from, him hating her and her trying to basically make amends to her admitting, I just trying to get you to like me.
Yeah.
Just as a friend, I don't like it when people don't like me. He saves her life, doesn't he?
He does. He pushes out the way of the rock and he gets under the rock.
Whatever methods of ascension he's been trying to put into place for the last few years, that's
sacrifice
triggered.
Yeah.
Obviously his ascension, and it's just brilliant.
It is brilliant, yeah. And when he's going up, he's spouting all this stuff off, and he's like, time has no meaning, I can see everything.
Yeah.
And then with a giant koala, okay, Star Trek.
I know the meaning of life, and then it's
So I'm fairly sure that Lower Decks is canon, so a giant koala, space koala is canon now in Star Trek, that's kind of cool. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. And he said something's on the back of something, didn't he?
Yeah, it's like the universe is on the back of a giant koala. So sort of Terry Pratchett.
Yeah.
And the Discworlds,
Yeah, there's turtles and then on the back of 4 elephants.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like that, I guess. That's what Star Trek is.
Yeah.
The very end with the sensors.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the sensors. And then she's saying to her mum about the, Mum, you don't say sensors. No, she doesn't say mum, but you don't say sensors. I do. I always call them sensors. It's how you say it. Are you making a feud of me?
Oh, feud of me,
You're making a feud of me, And that's brilliant. And then that's how she gets demoted in the end. It's by making feud of this captain.
This admiral, yeah. Oh,
is it Fjorn or
Fjorn? Making Fjorn of
Fjorn. Yeah, something like that. Anyway,
it's really good.
It's brilliant
because it's I think it's Spock in the original series. Or is it Kirk? I want to say Spock. I'm sure I'll get corrected if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Spock. He says sensors. That's just how he in the show in the films. That's how Leonard Nimoy will just say sensors. And I think it's become a bit of a running joke in Star Trek. Oh, what a joke!
Yeah, sensors.
When we was watching the episode, when it very first started, in that very first opening scene, and Mariner's yawning in the conference room, in the initial, good scene, really funny. And I think you said, you said something about, I wonder if that happens more often, or that should happen all the time. You said something about the yawning.
Well, people getting
bored in those meetings.
Bored in meetings,
and just yawning. I could actually have seen an actual episode of TNG where Data's trying to be more human, and he puts in a yawning subroutine, and then the whole episode he's just yawning throughout. I could honestly see them doing that, and that would have been fantastic in TNG.
Yeah, that would be good, actually, because it'd make him seem more human.
It would, like, inappropriate, because like, he does it before, like, he'll like do, like, try and do, like, jokes or something, and he'll try stuff out, and it never works.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd have been... Remember that episode where he had the finger trap?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, little things like that.
Yeah.
Perfect, like, data things. That'd have been a good one.
Yeah.
Yawning data.
Yeah.
Now's the part of the show where we do IMDb rating. So yeah, go on, Tom. Here's off first.
I'm going to give it a flat 8. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same. And I don't feel like I've got to explain that answer any more or less, because I think we've just spent the entire last half an hour talking about how much we like him and little things. Like, there was nothing that I didn't like about the show. And even that those, I've been sort of ranting this whole podcast about, how Starfleet's insidious and all these, like, potential evil things they could be doing. But I think that's kind of why I like the show, because it gave me things to think about.
Makes you question.
It makes me question things. It doesn't make me enjoy Star Trek any less if they really are hiding replicated rations away. No, so solid 8. Let's have a look on IMDb for our rating. Moist Vessel gets a 7.3.
Okay,
that's fine. A bit low. I would say a bit low.
Still good.
It's a good rating.
Considering the DS9 episode we watched last week was up in the high 8s.
Yeah,
I'm surprised. But I guess this is a different style for Star Trek, and people that are quite hardcore Star Trek watchers might... Yeah,
I know there are still some people who generally not on board with any of the new Star Treks. There are some people who are not on board with Lower Decks. I can't comprehend that, to be honest. I don't understand how someone could not enjoy this show. If you love the 90s Treks and the original Trek, I don't know how you can't not love this show. But, each to their own, I guess. But 7.3, that's still a pretty good rating.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm very happy with my 8. Like I said, I watched episode 3 times and had a blast every single time. It was great. So now we will do the selection for the next episode. This will be our 8th episode.
8th episode.
So there'll be 3 more to do. So anything I ask this every time, anything you want to see now? Because sometimes it changes. Like a lot of times, I want to watch Voyager, or I want to watch Enterprise. But
I would like to watch an episode of Voyager or the original series. Would be good. We haven't had an original series on yet.
It's true. Actually, that's kind of what I would say. But I would also like to watch Voyager, but I would like to watch later Voyager.
Yeah.
So I want to see Janeway wrangle with the Borg. That's what I want to see. I don't really want to see Kazon. But I'd watch that.
Some Janeway on Borg action would be quite good.
Yeah. So we're now going to spin for the next show to watch. Yeah, I think I really go with some original series.
Yeah.
So come on, Wheel, give me something cool. Very close to original series, but we're sticking with Lower Decks.
Okay.
So we're staying with the comedy.
That's fine. I don't mind that at all.
We both really enjoyed this episode. So yeah, but yeah, it was very close to staying on.
Yes.
It just tipped over from the original series. That's okay. So Lower Decks, we're back. We're staying with. We're not going anywhere. Let's roll for a series. 3.
3 is good.
3.
Okay.
I can't remember what happens in season 3. It Lower Decks has kind of overarching stories, but not really. They do tend to be quite self-contained episodes. How many episodes are in season 3 Tom?
I'm gonna say
10.
16.
Because there was 10 in the one we just watched.
I'm gonna say 16. I'm gonna say 10.
10. It's a good number. Okay,
yeah.
Right. So
how many episodes are there?
I've got 10 there.
Oh yes, there's 10. So we were both correct.
We were both correct. Yes. No one said 16. Definitely. Okay. Spinning for the episode.
Yeah.
3.
3 and 3.
Episode 3.
Okay.
Fantastic. Season 3, episode 3. Let me find a synopsis. So the episode is called Mining the Mind's Mine. Okay. Mining the Mind's Mine. I need to go to another website to get a synopsis, because that's, I think, just like a whole breakdown of the entire episode. So let me just go to memory. So synopsis for Mining... this is going to be a problem for the entire next podcast. Mining the Mind's Mine. Season 3, episode 3. On a remote science outpost, stone orbs are bringing fantasies to life. Tendi starts her first day as a senior science officer trainee. I don't remember this one.
Okay.
I'm sure I'll remember it when I see it and I'll watch it, but I don't remember it at all. But what a name. Mining the Mind's Mine.
That's good.
That's an awful name.
Yeah.
It's a tongue twister.
I bet you got better at it than when you said it.
I did, yeah. Practice makes perfect, yeah. Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah.
I think so. Good episode.
Thank you, everybody, for listening in today on Warp Factor Unknown, where we spoke about Lower Decks, Season 1, Episode 4, Moist Vessel. Next week, we'll be staying with Lower Decks, Season 3, Episode 3, Mining the Mind's Mine. Hope you join us then. Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
If you'd like to contact us, please email us at warpfactorunknown@outlook.com. That again is warpfactorunknown@outlook.com. The music we've been using for these episodes is called Starfleet Command by Jeff Harvey, and you can find more of his work on pixabay.com.